Hello everybody, I hope that all of you are doing well, and today we're going to talk about balance for Fatal Fury. I think that even though it is super early, we can kind of like already feel which things could become a problem or are just going to be a big challenge to balance well. And we're going to talk about two main topics today. The first one is fireballs. I think that fireballs in this game are a big topic of balance discussion, and we're going to talk about that. And the second one is the top tiers, you know, the best characters in this game, and maybe that sometimes they feel like a little too much. So let's start with it. And the first thing is fireballs. And well, fireballs in this game are super interesting because they feel like some sort of like weird paradox, because they are really good. It's kind of weird how good they are. And it feels like they should be bad on paper, Why? Because this game has a ton of options to go through fireballs, to basically skip the fireball war. A lot of characters have very good movement. They can be a ton of time in the air. Also, it is like relatively easy to get a jump in on your opponent in this game because jump in options are very good. Like you have super jumps, short hops. So like, it's kind of weird that fireballs are this good and that the top tiers basically are all like fireball holders. Like there is no top tier character that doesn't have a fireball except for Billy. I would argue that Billy is top tier even though he doesn't have a fireball, but dude, like Billy's stick, it's basically a fireball. It works like a fireball even though it isn't. It has the same logic in terms of pure, practical gameplay. So why are fireballs so good? Why is happening that the meta of this game is developing around fireball users? And well, the first thing, of course, is that it's super early, and in early 2D fighters, it's very common that fireball users and zoners are very good because people don't know how to deal with them. It's not like anything new. But the other thing is that even though in this game, fireballs should be bad on paper, as I said, there is good jumping options, there's a ton of neutral skips, etc. And also, you can technically parry fireballs every time that you fight against them, like you can just defend, And even though you can do all that, fireballs still feel very good. And I think that there's a couple of reasons as to why this is happening. The first one is that fireballs, for some reason, it feels like they have a ton of hit stun. Like when you block a fireball, it feels like you cannot do anything for a while. Like you try to press buttons to do a DP, or whatever motion you want to do, and it feels like they don't come out. Like the hit stun on the fireballs is very, very strong. And it's kind of insane in some situations because fireballs also are the best Oki options for a ton of characters. Like, for example, there are some setups in which Vijane, even though her fireball is very unorthodox, she's like plus 11 because of a fireball Oki. Also, if you do EX fireball with Terry, with Hotaru, with Kain on Oki, you're also like insanely plus. So it is kind of weird. It seems like the devs designed fireballs in this game like Oki setups, but you can feel the power of the logic, for that Oki setup in the fireball also neutral because of how big the hit stun is. At least that is my experience. That is what I feel, when I play this game. It feels like the hit stun is very big. And aside from that, I also think that the other reason why fireballs are so good, it's because even though you can just defend them, you can jump over them, etc. One, they are insanely fast, and if they are not insanely fast, they are really big. Like the size of the fireball is gigantic. It happens with Hotaru. Like Hotaru throws a fireball, it's not necessarily the fastest fireball in the world, but she can run behind it, and the fireball, it's really big. Like it feels like you can only jump over it if you super jump. And also, like if she's behind it and the player is good and you jump, she's just going to anti-air you when you go over the fireball. So I don't know, like fireballs create a lot of very tough situations to deal with in this game, and it feels very weird that that is the way in which developers maybe thought about fireballs. We're not sure, a lot of the time players like learn stuff about a game and they create a meta even though developers never saw that when they were creating the game. So that is the first topic, that is the discussion with fireballs. Let me know in the comments what you think about the fireball situation. I think that fireballs are very good. I don't know if they deserve a nerf, but they are for sure shaping the meta of the game. And then the second discussion is the top tiers, the top tier characters in this game, and that maybe they feel like a little too much, and we're going to talk about that also. And well, then we have the discussion of the top tiers. The top tiers in this game are very interesting because to me this game feels very well balanced. Like I wouldn't say that this game is unbalanced at all. Everyone in the roster, it's playable, and even though there are a couple of characters that can feel a lot weaker, like T-Sock for example, or Box, they are still playable. Like you can win with them. They have some stuff that is really good. But the top 4 of this game feels very degenerate, and in many ways it feels like they don't have any weakness at all. Like Kain, Hokutomaru, Hotaru, Billy. I didn't even put Hokutomaru on my top tier, on like S tier on my tier list, and I'm regretting that. Like, Jesus, the character is degenerate. And it's kind of crazy that those characters, it feels at least, that they don't have any weaknesses. Of course, they do have some, but they're small. Like, when you think of a character like Kain or Hotaru, for example, do they really have any big weakness? Like, yeah, Kain has to commit to a flash kick if he wants to DP. Is that really a weakness? That's more like a specific nuanced thing about the character. It's not really a weakness. Meanwhile, you see T-Sock and it's like, what is T-Sock weakness? He can't control neutral at all. He's like a wall. He has to play N-tier monster game, he plays like a brawler even though he's a grappler because of that, And with the top tiers, again, feels like they don't have any weakness, and in many ways, they feel a little, over the top when you fight them, and when you start getting to high ranks, I'm on A4 trying to get to S, and S seems to be like the first high rank in the game. It seems like S rank is kind of like Diamond, in other games, and the double S is like Grandmaster and stuff like that. That's how it's starting to feel with this game. A is like, the end of Platinum or the start of Diamond, and I start fighting, people on S because I'm on A, and they are like, close ranks, and everyone is playing Hotaru, Hokutomaru, Kain. Like, everyone is playing Hotaru really because she's the easiest top tier, but it's kind of insane how many people are playing the same characters, and you see the profile of those players and they have 70% win rate, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I know that you're having a great time with the game and it seems like you're a great player, but you're also not going to win Evo, so why is every Hotaru player having like 70% win rate? There's clearly something connected to the character, not only the players, okay? Not every Hotaru, Kain, and Hokutomaru player are the best players in the world for every fighting game. Like, they are not, okay? So there is a clear balance issue with those characters at least, or at least a clear like difference in power level in comparison to the rest of the cast. And even though I can see that a lot of good players are picking up those characters, it still feels like a part of that win rate, it's inflation because of how strong the characters are. And there is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that as a criticism of the players or the game. Like, this happens with every fighting game. It's not anything new. It's just fun to discuss about it. And I do think that Hotaru, Kain, Hokutomaru deserve some nerfs. Like, the characters are degenerate. For example, Hokutomaru's teleports needs to be able to whiff. Like, I haven't seen any Hokutomaru whiff any teleport. Like, it kind of like auto-tracks you. And it is stupid. Like, the teleport needs to have a specific range in which it can whiff so you can punish it. It can't be that the character can choose to be on top of your face when they want and that's it. Like, it's very stupid. Terry, for example, has amazing neutral skip, but you can whiff them and get punished. Hokutomaru literally cannot whiff the teleport. At least that's how it feels. It's early to know, but it's kind of insane. Hotaru, again, doesn't have any weakness. Like, he has some of the best up-close pressure, some of the best neutral control, some of the best damage. Like, she hits like a freaking truck. Kain the same. Amazing neutral control, some of the best in the game, arguably the best. Some of the best close pressure also, some of the best close pressure. And like, it's just too much. The characters feel very strong. I hope that they get some nerfs, but they don't die, because on SNK games, it's kind of like a tendency to balance characters around the idea that they should just not get play anymore. Like, you have like a season, for example, that happened with Cronin on KOF 15. He was like super top tier for some months, and he was played on every tournament, and then Cronin basically was played by nobody because he was nerfed to the ground, and I don't want that. I would like for the game to have a more balanced, approach when it comes to balancing the characters. I do like that there are top tiers that are strong, but I would like for them to be a little closer to the high tier experience that other characters give you, like Terry, for example, and Rock. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, just some balanced discussion. Let me know in the comments what you think about the balanced state of the game, and keep enjoying some Fatal Fury.
Rock you! Let's go!